going on, brother? Yeah. Oh, watch. It gets loud, so. We got some kids filming for like a documentary for school. Is that all right?
How is my hair?
It looks good. It's TV ready.
Without volume, you can't survive.
We've been regulated nearly to death.
Fishing, not called catching for a reason, so you'd really never know what's gonna be good and what's gonna be plentiful at the time.
I don't really like fish. I know. It's ironic. Yeah. So it's good business. I don't like fish, so I just.
What's happening in the South Shore? We know it's beautiful. I take my kids to the beach out there all the time. I drive down Dune Road. I look at all the beautiful homes, and my wife is like, wow. And I say to her, they're all on borrowed time, honey. It's borrowed time. You could give me that home on Dune Road, and I wouldn't live there.
Are you going to be in the video,
Yep,
John?
totally.
Okay. Are we able to call you John or John Carlo? Okay. And when my children were little, my wife used to come down here. It was so beautiful. My wife would come down here as I'm working on the boat, and the children would be here with dinner.
Making
You know, I would,
little rafts out of chunks of styrofoam that you would find washed up on the beach, and you find a pallet and just float around the bay and do things little kids do.
And my mother would come down on the bridge and holler out, "We need 50 bushel more." And me, my father, and my brother were out there harvesting on Longwood
home today. And I got my son with me, and he's just a young boy. But at 10 years old, he was a big help because these are just all hydraulic levers over here. And he was capable to, when I told him to go up and down, and I was able to do all the mechanical work. But he was a big help.
I often wondered if I could go live in the mountains, but yeah, the ocean just such a big part of your life when you grow up around here that it just pulls you back.
Yeah. Well, we used to be a lot larger. We used to be like 3 or 4 times larger. We've been beaten down.
There used to be a lot of boats fishing out of here now, and there's not that. There was 3 places that pack fish. Now this is the only place that packs fish down here.
When you regulate the fish, the price goes up. So in a couple ways, you're actually catching less fish, but you're making more money, and you're putting hopefully a little bit less effort into it.
Well, it's the economic multiplier, right? Fishing, this is a fishing boat, and yet, for instance, this winch right here, we just put on, this just got put on, and this, so like we had to buy this, and I had to buy these fittings at the local, North Fork Welding. So we spent our money at North Fork Welding. What money was spent? Money that came from the fish, the fish that I sold. So the dock, when we come in, our fish is unloaded at the dock.
When the boats come in, you just pack them out. Ah, shit.
And our fish gets trucked to New York City, the salesman for the fish, then the fish store or the restaurant.
People are just building more homes.
They're our customers and we're their customers.
Becoming more of a year-round community.
It's definitely a community.
The ocean and the water are the economic engine that runs Southampton.
And I should be looking this way?
Oh, yes, so this one,
Or-
look at me.
Okay, look at your view. If you live on the South Shore, particularly in the Hamptons, which are vulnerable, we saw in the hurricane of 1938, there weren't many homes there. They were mostly summer homes. They pretty much got wiped out. And that was similar to a Katrina or a Sandy. And we know it's going to happen again. I mean, it's just a matter of when, not if.
Whether it's the fallback on the condos, move the condos back out of harm's way, or the Fire Island to Montauk Beach Nourishment, the FIMS plan. We believe it's finally going to happen where the Army Corps is going to take very large dredges and take sand from offshore borrow sites and pump it on the beach.
There are several studies that show the West Antarctic ice sheet, which is a big piece of Antarctica. There's nothing stopping that ice from falling into the ocean at this point. So probably in the next 100, 200 years, all of that ice, which is equivalent to 20 to 22 feet of sea level ice, it's going. There's nothing we can do.
I think it will always prosper, especially as a resort area. Being its proximity to New York is what it is. You know, Manhattan's literally 70 miles away. I think unless this island disappears, people are always going to continue to come here.
They had to rebuild the dunes and, you know, do some dredging, which they just completed.
Yeah, it has affected us. We blew through twice this year. Couldn't get down the dock. But they're working on it, but I hope they can resolve it. It's more than dredging that has to resolve it, though.
The barrier island that we're looking at right now is here to protect the inland. So eventually, this barrier island is going to roll over.
That's the issue, trying to stay open and trying to run a business at this time of year when we're really, you know, really at the mercy of the ocean.
They're going to be spending money to try to fight back the ocean, be it putting in more and more sand or elevating their homes or putting up walls. The bottom line is it's a done deal. The tipping point for coastal Long Island has already been crossed.
Yeah. That's life. You'll know, your generation. I'll be gone before you.
Is there anything else you want to ask?
Yeah, I guess my final question would be, where do you think the solution to this issue is?
The solution?
Is there one?
I don't know. There's probably many solutions, but I have no idea.
I think that there will be a solution.
20 years from now, there's going to be a lot less small guys in the business.
But I think that they'll do whatever it takes, regardless of the cost, to maintain the ability for people to live and vacation here.
The door is still, it's not totally shut. It's just not wide open.
The powers that be will figure out how to secure this area, you know, for a long time to come.
No. Everybody's got to live their own life and do it the way they think. I've done it all my life, and I have no regrets.
So I remember when I first started working here in the 90s, I had the Army Corps of Engineer brought me into Long Beach and said, you know, talk to these people about hurricanes and the likelihood of a hurricane because we want to build a seawall, but they have to pay for it. And so they asked me, when is the next hurricane? I said, I don't know. I said, it's definitely coming. I don't know when it is. So ultimately, they decided not to fund. Of course, Long Beach was decimated by Sandy. So let's just pretend you don't know why it's rising, okay? It doesn't matter why, right? So if you live at the shoreline, water is coming for you, right? So the ocean doesn't care if you know why it's coming. It doesn't care if you believe in global warming or not. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor. The ocean is coming and it's going to damage your home.